Looking back, how much would it have meant to you if you were able to finish up as a Met?
No doubt about it. It would have been a great accomplishment for my career to finish up in Queens. And I really wanted to finish up in Queens, but I was kind of pushed out, and it was different. Pete wasn't pushed out. The opportunity and the window was there for him to, be able to come back. I didn't have an opportunity and window for me to be able to come back. There was no negotiations for me at that particular time. Being able to be in the middle of negotiating a contract to come back and play and have that opportunity where you've already had success and you got a great fan base for yourself. He has that, so good for him. Good that it worked out for him. Most people sit around and say, "Well, aren't you worried about the fact that he's going to break your home run record?" Listen, I'm so far removed from baseball; it's not even funny. So that doesn't even phase me. Baseball is a game of opportunities. It's not your life; it's what you do. And he has the opportunity to be the Mets' all-time home run hitter, and I hope he does it.
Jay Harwood's a special edition of Amazing Conversations with the great Darryl Strawberry. Darryl, what was your first reaction when you heard last night that Pete will be back for the Mets at least in 2025?
I was like, yes, I'm so happy for him, being a player that came through the organization, you know, and had opportunity to have great success. He's had great success. First of all, more than anything, I just want to say congratulations to Pete for making that decision. It's a hard decision to make, when you put yourself in a free agency and you have an opportunity to go out there and have other teams bid for you. And for him to make that decision, that's the right decision in his heart, for him and his family to be able to come back to Queens because he's already established himself there as a top player, slugger, been through it all. The only things left for him now is to win it all there in Queens. He's done everything else, rookie of the year, you know, big home run hitter, played in some big playoff games. And the only things that people will remember of your career if you had opportunity to win. So that's sitting in front of him and those guys right now is being able to have the opportunity to have a good team going into 2025 and win a championship.
Darryl, one thing you and I talked about after the 1990 season, you left New York and really went your own doing. You had no choice. Looking back, how much would it have meant to you if you were able? I know you had great success with the Yankees and everything, but how much it would have meant to you if you were able to finish up as a Met?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. It would have been a great accomplishment for my career to finish up in Queens, and I really wanted to finish up in Queens, but I was kind of pushed out, and it was different. Pete wasn't pushed out. The opportunity and the window was there for him to, be able to come back. I didn't have an opportunity and window for me to be able to come back. There was no negotiations for me at that particular time. Being able to be in the middle of negotiating a contract to come back and play and have that opportunity where you've already had success and you got a great fan base for yourself. He has that, so good for him. Good that it worked out for him. Most people sit around and say, "Well, aren't you worried about the fact that he's going to break your home run record?" Listen, I'm so far removed from baseball; it's not even funny. So that doesn't even phase me. Baseball is a game of opportunities. It's not your life; it's what you do. And he has the opportunity to be the Mets all-time home run hitter, and I hope he does it, and I hope he stays healthy and hope those guys can overcome, what they've experienced last year of losing to the Dodgers and realizing that this is what baseball is all about, and we have opportunity to win.
So you're at 252. David Wright's 242. He's at 226. So eventually, God willing, will happen. I remember when he broke your rookie record at 26. You sent a congratulatory message. I know you spoke to him a lot, and you're going to be in the spring, training with the team again this year. When you see him face up, what do you think you'll tell him?
No, I would just tell him I'm glad he stayed. I'm glad he got a chance to hear me on my day of speaking and talking about to the fans. Wish I would have never lost and how sorry I was for that fact. And when you get a chance to play in a place like New York, there's no greater place. You could play in a lot of other places; they're great, but they're not New York. When you play in the spotlight of New York City and all the expectations and you produce. Um, the memories are forever. Not only just the memories of playing there, but if you get a chance to win there, you will always be celebrated. You know, to this day of playing in New York and winning championships, I've been celebrated. Of course, by the Mets and also on the other side too with the Yankees. But you will always be remembered as someone that did something great in a place that's very difficult to play.
Could you believe that next year was 40 years from the '86 championship? God, it seems like it was yesterday. And guys still come up to you, like you say, they still remember Darryl Strawberry, 1986 world champion. People don't forget.
They never forget. 40 years. Think about it. People still talking about the 86 Mets. We could still do a 86 Mets show and fans still come out and celebrate that team. It's been a long time for this organization to be able to have something to celebrate. And hopefully, they're headed in the right direction with some of the things they've done this offseason. And I'm quite sure they got plenty more things to do. You never finish until you complete the task, when you're in the middle of a season. And, hopefully last year run for them was just something of just an eye opener about what it's really like to play in big games and meaningful games, down the stretch, when you get into September and October, and hopefully coming back this season they will experience it even more. They got a well put together team. They're getting together soon for spring training. They just need to regroup as a group and prepare themselves as a group, not just one particular player, not just Pete, Lonzo, Soto, just the whole group and come in like the 86 Mets. We came in that year and we just knew that we were going to win.
Yeah, I don't think one of the benefits of Pete coming back is, Vantis had a great rookie season, but he doesn't have to learn a new position now on the fly. He'll stay at third base, adapt. Sophomore year could be tough. He doesn't have to learn a new position. You have Lindor, Soto, Alvarez, Marte, and Winkler back in. I mean, the lineup is pretty well stacked, don't you think, right now?
The lineup is stacked and it's great. One thing you got to always remember, after having a year like last year, everything's not going to go your way, and some things you got to make happen your way. And I think that's what's got to be for them. Coming after having such a run like last year. You went to the National League Championship. We did that in 1988, and we had a better team in '86, but we lost in
Right.
the National League Championship, and we never got back to that place. It's such a window of time that's open to win, but the organization is headed in the right direction. When you still think about all these younger players that they still have in the minor leagues that they're developing, those guys one day are going to be playing in the big leagues, and they're going to have a lot of years because they're getting to the big leagues early, and they're learning to get the experience early so they'll be able to play and have longevity, and that's what's important. So the organization is pretty. Steve has put his self in a position, and David Stearns, they put themselves in a position to be in it for the long haul. I think that's what's really important. Don't look at the short term. Yes, it's a short window with this group that's been there for a long time to get it done. But at the same time, you got to look at the longevity of this organization. Where are they going? And I think they're headed in the right direction with so many young
Yeah,
guys.
Darryl, you mentioned Steve. By giving Pete the money and a $10 million bonus, he put himself under another tax threshold, which cost the organization more money. What does that say about his commitment to winning? That he wants to bring Pete back and willing to pay an extra pretty good tax to get the job done.
He's ready to win. He wants to win. I mean, he's a wonderful guy, and he's got a wonderful setup now, and I think David Stearns is the key to this organization moving forward. He's a very bright guy, smart guy, and he's got an owner that's willing to spend and go through this process and be over the tax bracket. And bringing Pete back was big for them. No matter how people want to look at it. Yeah, everybody's screaming about he had a down year. Everybody has down years. You can always bounce back from a down year. Maybe this year be a more relaxed. He's got 2 years under his belt with an option to decide for himself, if he still wants to be there. But that gives him a little bit more confidence in himself to go out there, and play. He's got a good salary this year, which I think is like 30 million. They're saying, got $10 million signing bonus. Great for him and his family. Now just focus on baseball, man. Focus on winning. The last thing that you want to be remembered by is not how great I was as an individual player, stats, but did we ever win anything? And they have that opportunity. Take advantage of that opportunity for all of them, Pete and all those guys. Have fun, man. This it doesn't last forever. Your baseball career goes fast, and when you look back on it, you'll be able to reflect on it. Just like me, I'm able to reflect on it. Here it is. I don't know how many years later. I'm still the home run leader for the New York Mets with 252 home runs, and Pete is in a position where he's about to break that, and that's great, because that's what baseball is supposed to be about. Those records are not supposed to stand forever, and somebody else is supposed to come along and break those records.
Yeah, last question. You'll be down at the Mets for a week, and you have a great relationship, not only ownership with Carlos Mendoza as the manager. Talk about what he brings to the team.
Well, I think Mindy just brings steadiness. He's he's a baseball person. He has a baseball IQ. He's been around baseball a long time. He understands players. He understands what it takes, and he make his players get after it. I mean, he's not easy on them. I know he's very hard on them because he knows the expectations are high, but he knows that they have the ability, and just make it baseball. Don't change anything. I mean, I think sometimes people overanalyze it. Stop listening to all the outside noise of what people talking about because all that don't matter. What matters is when you get between the lines on the field and getting the job done. Moving guys over, getting guys in, and hitting balls out the ballpark when they count. I think that's what's important in the game of baseball.
Darryl, you're a good friend. You can do me one favor. When you're in Florida this spring, I have a table of Chili's that right up the block. You got to go to my table and order some Southwestern egg rolls on me. Is that a deal?
That's the deal, J Ho. It's a great J Ho's and Chili's. Huh? South,
I used to eat there every
South
night with
egg rolls. South egg. What is it?
with
Southwest egg rolls?
That's what used to be me, Mike Cameron, and Cliff Floyd at our table at Chili's.
Oh my,
So,
that must have been
listen,
a fun table.
it was a fun table. Listen, you're a good friend. Stay healthy, and I look forward to seeing you in the spring, my friend. In regards to Tracy, please.
All right, thank you. Good luck.